Today we are working on our conclusion paragraphs, and I'm just going to zoom out really quick so you can see how everything looks. Yesterday you should have worked on your climax, and there should be a box where you're writing your sequence of events. So I do have my story elements opened up in a tab, and yesterday we were working on our climax, which is the most important part of the story. It's the part where your character is confronting head-on whatever is in the basement that is working against your main character. Whatever character or force is working against your main character, there's a direct confrontation in the climax. And that will change this experience is going to change your main character. It's going to change their character, right? Change the character of your main character. All right. So you were supposed to highlight in magenta the heart of your climax. And you're supposed to use the blue bar to kind of show me the pacing, right? So I can know that all of this is my climax, or the second half of my climax. In these events, she's practicing archery and learning to believe in herself and have confidence. She's accepting that she'll attempt to defeat the queen in battle, and they're going to fight, and Annabella's going to almost die. Okay, today is the conclusion. I would like you to make a new box, a new text box. You can make a new text box just by going here to text box. Okay, and I'll go ahead and make one right now to demonstrate. When you're making a new text box, you're just going to decide how big you want it. Okay, that's how you make a text box. It's this, right next to the mouse cursor, there's a text box. It's a box with a T on it. I fill the text box in black, right? And then I change the lettering to white. Okay, then you can just take the same heading and bring it right over. If you need more room, you can drag, right? Make it bigger, make it smaller according to these dots. All right, so today's conclusion is going to focus on your falling action. Let me go ahead and present this. Give it a second to load. Today's conclusion paragraph is going to be the events from your falling action and your resolution that are going to be tied together into one paragraph. Okay? Remember that you're writing this on your narrative template. So I created a text box, Magic of Television, it's right over here. And in my text box directions, which are on the left-hand side, it says conflict. Did you solve the conflict? Falling action. Did you tie up any of the story's loose ends? So whatever was problematic that was happening in the basement, for me, this is problems happening in Wonderland. You need to make sure that the society or the experience of the basement is going back to normal, right? Whatever's the problem is getting all wrapped up. And does your story have an ending? There's also characters and theme. Like, is there anything you want readers to know about the characters, their feelings, their thoughts by the end? And can we figure out what the theme of the story is? If you did it right, then in the beginning you mentioned some sort of flaw in your character. My character lacks confidence. And as a result of this experience in the basement, my character will have more confidence than before. So if you wrote your arc and your character did change as a result of the basement, which is a direction, then you don't have to wonder so much about the characters or theme. It should automatically kind of fall into place. What I would like you to do is highlight how the conflict is solved in red. Highlight how you are tying up loose ends in green, and highlight the ending, right, of your story in blue. So for my sequence of events, which I took straight from my chart, it says Annabella wakes up from her near-death experience and becomes the new queen. She sets the slaves free and appoints a new council of just leaders to take care of Wonderland once she goes home. Winter changes to spring in Wonderland. Annabella returns home with more confidence than she did before. She returns to school with confidence and makes a new friend. Okay, I'll go ahead and delete this or I'll leave it just in case you want to copy it and put it into yours. Okay, so all of this, right, is my conclusion. I don't know if you want me to read it to you. I can zoom in. No, I'll read it to you. Okay, so she almost died doing battle with the queen. Still groggy, Annabella found herself lying in the queen's bed. The queen's doctor had bandaged her wounds. "My queen," said the doctor, while he deeply bowed in her direction. "What?" replied Annabella, her mind still fuzzy from her injury, and her mind was still fuzzy from her injury, and she was finding it difficult to comprehend being a queen. "Bring in the major domo. If I'm queen for a day, I want to take advantage of it." The major domo entered the bedroom as the doctor exited. "You wish to see me?" he said. "Yes. I'd like to declare 3 new laws. First, laborers are to be set free. From now on, no one in Wonderland will be forced into any profession or made to work without payment or medical care." "Yes, Your Highness. I'll see it's drafted, and I'll return with a draft for you to sign." "What ideas do you propose for the other 2 laws?" I'm going to go ahead and highlight that part, because that is part of my solution. "I'd like to appoint a council to oversee the governance of Wonderland after I leave. The council should consist of a diverse membership of workers who will come together to create apprenticeships for those seeking new work according to their skills and interests. From now on, jobs will no longer be assigned. Every citizen in Wonderland will be able to choose their own professions. The educational system will no longer be solely fixed on Minecraft. All students will learn a variety of subjects until they're ready to choose an apprenticeship program or apply for university. After these laws are signed, I'll renounce my crown. I have no desire to be a queen. Lastly, the cyber zoning system that artificially controls the weather here will be dismantled. Wonderland's weather will return to normal, and her citizens will be able to enjoy all 4 seasons. No more year-long winters." After Queen Annabella's new laws went into effect, she stepped down as queen and let the council take over. She left the palace and started on her way back home. The snow was melting and the trees were giving way to new life. Peeking up from the ground on her way into the forest, Annabella was taken aback by the sight of an orange poppy. She found the same strange tree with its large knob. The same howling wind tunnel transported her back home. She scrunched down and exited the tiny wooden door that led into her basement. On Monday, Annabella returned to school. She smiled, joked, and talked during her morning classes. Her classmates were pleasantly surprised by her change in character, as was Tony. The first thing Annabella did during passing period before chemistry class was find Tony. She grabbed his hand, moved closer to him, and said, "You still need a chem partner, right?" Tony blushed and smirked as they entered class together. So I would like you to highlight your conclusion. Highlight it for how the conflict was solved. The conflict is the problems of the story. How you tied up loose ends in green. And does your story have an ending? Put the ending in blue.